A Course in Miracles Workbook, Lesson 51. The review for today covers the ideas from Lessons 1 to 5
Lesson 1,
as follows.
Nothing I see
Lesson
means
1,
anything.
Nothing I see means anything. Lesson 2, I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. Lesson 3, I do not understand anything I see. Lesson 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. And Lesson 5, I am never upset for the reason I think.
Lesson 51 is a review lesson. It helps you remember the first 5 ideas you learned. These lessons teach that the things you see do not have meaning all by themselves. The meaning comes from your thoughts about them. They also teach that you do not understand the world yet, because you are still learning how to think with love instead of fear. Lesson 51 reminds you that your thoughts are very important. When your thoughts are confused, the world looks confusing. When your thoughts become calmer and kinder, the world begins to make more sense. Lesson 51 helps you practice noticing your thoughts and learning that real meaning comes from love, not from what you see with your eyes.
Lesson 1, Nothing I see means anything. The reason this is true is because I see nothing, and nothing means nothing. I need to understand this so I can learn to really see. What I think I see now is blocking true vision. I must let it go and realize it means nothing, so real vision can take its place.
Jesus teaches us that our minds are split. We can see with love through the Holy Spirit, but we often block those loving thoughts with ideas of attack and separation. To find true vision, we first need to understand that what we see now is not real or meaningful. These false ideas keep us stuck in feeling separate. The real purpose of being here is to learn forgiveness, which helps us see with true vision.
Lesson 2, I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I see, and that is all I see. This is not real vision. It is just a false idea of reality because my judgments are not based on what is real.
This reminds us that the world we see is not real because it comes from our judgmental thoughts, which are also not real. Every thought like this tries to hide the truth that we never left God. What we see is like a shadow of the first false idea, that we are separate from God, but that idea is not true.
I'm ready to see that my judgments are not true because I want to see clearly. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see things through them anymore.
Jesus wants us to understand that our thoughts and judgments hurt us. My judgments have hurt me. The ego tries to trick us into thinking our pain comes from things outside us, like other people or the world, instead of our own thoughts. These lessons help us see that our pain comes from our own judgments. When we understand this, we realize we have the power to choose happiness or sadness, peace or conflict.
Lesson 3, I do not understand anything I see. How can I understand what I see if I have judged it wrong? What I see comes from my own mistakes in thinking. I cannot understand it because it does not make sense.
This is the start of being humble. We often think we are always right. What we see, hear, and understand must be true because we say so. Sometimes we even get others to agree with us, but that does not make it true. It is like sharing a wrong idea with others, and everyone believes it, but it is still wrong. When we feel judgment, separation, or the need to feel special, we cannot trust our thoughts because they are not true.
There is no point in trying to understand it. Instead, it makes sense to let go and make space for what can be seen, understood, and loved. I trade what I see now for this just by being willing to. Is not this a better choice than the one I made before?
We can gain true vision by simply being willing to choose it. Jesus reminds us that we have the power to choose vision or judgment, happiness or sadness, peace or pain. To choose differently, we need to realize that this power is in our minds, not in the world or our bodies.
Lesson 4. These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts I have do not mean anything because I'm trying to think without God.
Here is the main idea. God's thoughts come through the Holy Spirit, Jesus, or these lessons. If we hold on to anger, attack thoughts, or wanting to feel special, we are not truly thinking. What comes from not thinking is not real. Illusions only create more illusions. Cause and effect are always connected.
The thoughts I call mine are not my real thoughts.
These thoughts are not real because I call them mine. Jesus wants us to learn that when we say, "This is mine," or "This is me," we are thinking in separation, which is always wrong. Long ago, the ego said to God, "This is myself, not yours." But this was never true. We are all part of God's one Son, and we share the same true self with everyone.
My real thoughts are the ones I think with God. I do not notice them because I have let my own thoughts take their place.
Jesus tells us we have replaced God's thoughts with our own because we want to be a separate I. We like to say me and mine instead of us or ours.
I'm ready to see that my thoughts do not mean anything and let them go. I choose to let God's thoughts take their place. My thoughts mean nothing, but God's thoughts hold all creation.
Jesus reminds us that we have a choice. He encourages us to let God's thoughts replace our own and remember who we are as God created us.
Lesson 5. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am not upset for the reason I think because I'm always trying to make my thoughts seem right.
When we choose to see ourselves as separate and say mine, we try to prove we are right. We act like we are innocent and say, "It is not my fault." We even get others to agree that we are the victim. The world gives us many things to blame, so it is easy to do. Everyone does this to stay separate and make others seem guilty instead of themselves.
I keep trying to make my thoughts true. I turn things into enemies to feel right about being angry and attacking. I did not see how I misuse everything by doing this. I was protecting ideas that hurt me, but now I want to let them go.
When students first read the workbook, they may not notice how important the words are, but if they study it carefully over time, they will see how amazing Jesus' teachings are. Here, Jesus wants us to say, "I am glad I was wrong, and I am even happier to know there is someone inside me who is right." To do this, we need to let go of anger, judgments, and the need to feel special. We must stop using others to blame or prove we are right, whether we love or dislike them. Instead of blaming others to feel innocent, we can now happily choose a better way.